Transition Radio TV brought to you by thebreastformstore.com. They have everything you could possibly need for your transgender or cross-dressing needs. Visit their website at www.breastformstore.com and tell them Transition Radio sent you.
The following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. A 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from Hollywood, Florida, with your host and hostess, Mark Angelo and Jessica Lynn Cummings. Show for trans folks by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard. We're so very glad you joined us yet again for another Sunday. And today we have a very special show. Not only do we have a very special guest, Cy Lauz from Chrysalis, which is a transgender lingerie company, but we have National Geographic filming us, so don't mind us if we get a little nervous. We're used to being on the interviewer side of the thing, and we've had to be on the opposite end all the past couple of days. Today is day number 3. But it's all good, and we feel very privileged and honored to take part of such an amazing show.
Absolutely.
Well, today, as I mentioned, we have Cy Lauz, who is the founder of Chrysalis, which is a New York City-based lingerie brand. It was co-founded in 2010 by Cy Lauz as a means to develop a line of lingerie specifically for transgender women. Chrysalis offers lingerie that helps to resolve issues of the transgender experience so you can concentrate on more important things, you. Along with their exquisitely made lingerie, Chrysalis offers a peace of mind. Chrysalis offers a variety of products, including their Chrysalis Enhancers bra that holds full cup silicone inserts that create a natural-looking bust line, and their T-string, which is a brand name that effectively tucks, holds, and smooths out the panty line for that perfect seamless look. Chrysalis will officially launch its online e-commerce website on May 1st, 2013.
Chrysalis came about to alleviate a primary stress and issue for transgender women. In the greater scope, Chrysalis was created to help change the dehumanizing stereotypes and biases transgender people are subjected to as a group and community. Chrysalis symbolizes the acknowledgement of our existence and provides a solution to our specific needs. As a brand, Chrysalis takes transgender women beyond stereotypes and represents them as beautiful, intelligent women with prowess and the embodiment of feminine sensuality. Cy Lauz says, I think every woman, trans or not, face challenges when trying to find undergarments. All women come in different shapes and sizes, have particular tastes, wants, and needs. But as trans women, we have very specific needs unique to our own experience.
The obvious are finding ways to create a natural-looking bust line and ways to tuck very comfortably, all while keeping on a dignity and sense of self intact.
Now, welcome to our show, the amazing co-founder of Chrysalis, Cy Lauz.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being part of our show and our Transition Radio family.
Absolutely, thank you.
I think we have a lot in common. You created a line of lingerie specifically for the transgender female. We created this radio station and TV show for transgender individuals so they would have their own media source and tell the stories the way they know how to tell. We know how the media kind of changes things around on us and tries to sensationalize things. Well, by creating this kind of platform, we allow the members of our community to express themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm all about self-representation. I tell people all the time, what's special about living in the times that we're living in now with things like the internet and Twitter and Facebook is that the individual can literally represent themselves through this this tool that the internet is. So in essence, we kind of take the responsibility or of how the media represents us or how they want to represent us, and we can ourselves represent ourselves through the media we call the internet. And I think it's almost a breakthrough or revolutionary in a sense.
It absolutely is. And I could not agree more.
Yeah, and it helps us educate the world so they could get the real stories behind our lives and not be some Jerry Springer or any source of tabloid news that changes things around and doesn't allow us to express ourselves and let people know what we're all about. So I want to thank you again for being on the show, and we look forward for you to tell the viewers about this wonderful company that you've created. Now, since you are the co-founder, who else is involved?
It's my business partner. She is Simone. She was featured on the InStyle documentary Born Male, Living Female. You can see her on that. She's primarily the designer of our line, and I have a little bit of input. But I primarily handle marketing and things like that. But she's primarily the designer of our line.
Great. Like I said, it's amazing. It's a great idea to create a product especially for our beautiful transgender sisters. I'm yet to find a company that will create a clothing line for transgender men because, as you see, we're much shorter. We don't have the same bone structures as genetically born male. So maybe someone out there will become inspired and create something for us trans guys. And how did the idea of Chrysalis come about?
The idea came about back in, I think, 2006 or 2007 when I was kind of deciding to transition. I come from a background of interior design as well as fashion styling. So I was really accustomed to seeing things that were beautifully made, that evoked a sense of confidence and things that were really beautiful. But when it came down to undergarments and to find things that, assisted me with, my support in the panty area, I really couldn't find anything. And I scoured the internet, and I found a few things that were kind of more catered to, let's say, drag queens or things like that, or cross-dressers. And it didn't really appeal to me as not only as a trans woman, but more of a professional woman and someone who enjoyed, beautiful, pretty things. So I decided if I couldn't find it, I'd just basically make them myself.
That was a great thing to do because, as you said, if you can find things to fit our needs, then what better way than to create something for the trans community?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
How did you go about selecting models for the brand?
Well, we sent out a casting call on Craigslist, whatever other media outlets there were. We had plenty of applicants that wanted to be our models. So we basically did the casting call. We called back about 10 to 20 models to actually meet with us in person. And we asked them, how they felt about being trans women, what the problems were, how they saw the future of what a trans woman would be and things like that. But most of all, we really wanted girls who were proud of who they were, who weren't afraid to, to speak out, and, who were done hiding. We really wanted to attract strong-willed women, intelligent women, and women who were unapologetic about their femininity.
Definitely. Living with my fiance, Jessica, who's an MTF, one of the things that I find that she has the most difficulty with is tucking. And that is a very major problem for transgender women. So how well does this, because you have some sort of gaff, I guess it's called. Gaff.
Well, when I was searching the internet, gaffs are pretty much what I found. But what I found with them they were really ugly, and they weren't comfortable, and they didn't really make me feel like the beautiful woman that I felt that I was. So when we seeked out to develop the T-string, we wanted something that was sexy, that was flattering, that was well made, and it wasn't, because with the gaff it seemed more like an afterthought, With Chrysalis and with the T-string and the Chrysalis enhancers, there was a specific kind of intention behind it, which was the function, which was to help transgender women tuck, and then also secondary was make them feel beautiful. Sorry, that's my dog if you hear him.
It's okay, join the pet hood. Just about every single guest that we have on the show has a pet who's verbal. We've had a parrot, we've had dogs, and
they all want to be on the show.
So you're at home, not worry.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. The T-string basically holds. It's what do you call it? It's technology that I and my business partner developed ourselves. It took us about 1.5 years to develop. I used myself as a quote unquote guinea pig, and we also had other trans women try it out to see what they felt about it, if it was comfortable, if it basically did what we wanted it to do, and it does. And we're very happy about it. We're very proud about it, and we can't wait to set it out onto the market for, the trans women of the world to enjoy.
Awesome. Let me ask you, what about swimwear? Do you guys, I know you do lingerie, but are you thinking, or do you do swimwear?
Yes, we're going down the line as we go further. We do want to go into swimwear. We're already kind of testing things out as well to coincide with the same technology that we use with the T-string. We're also going into shapewear, and we also have a couture line that we're developing that has teddies, corsets, stockings, things like that. Essentially, we want to be, Chrysalis, the brand, wants to be the go-to brand that all transgender women go to. We want to make sure that if the Chrysalis brand is on it, they can trust it and feel good about it.
And that's definitely important.
Awesome.
I know yesterday when we
were filming on the beach, I got a little uncomfortable because, I wear a regular bikini, but, wardrobe malfunctions tend to happen during those times, especially all day. And I was like, then they were like, okay, get up and walk in the bikini. And I'm like, really? No.
And I know that's one of the things that she's mostly very self-conscious about.
And I was like, oh, well, screw it. Here we go. Got up and did it. But.
And that's part of it. It's just like, our undergarments, it's such an issue for us. And, if it's constantly on our minds, you can't really live life comfortably, or you can't live life normally, because your mind is on, oh my God, I'm untucked, or it hurts, or it's really uncomfortable. So the second component of Chrysalis is that, maybe once our I call it our Venus. A woman on a penis on a woman is a Venus. So when our Venus is no longer a problem or an issue, we can kind of learn to accept it and love it, and in essence, and in regards to, having surgery or SRS, I know many trans women who've almost regretted going through SRS. So I feel like if our Venus is no longer an issue, we can learn to love it and accept it, and because it's no longer a problem. But if, you still want to go ahead with the SRS, at least, you're doing it for you and only you.
Exactly. And I found that the Venus is not the issue. It's the other things below that are the issue.
Exactly.
Yeah, and talking about that, and Jessica's going to be getting an orchiectomy to remove the berries, which is what bothers her. And Because what's the use of removing your sexual genitalia, which is what's going to give you the pleasure, because you just don't feel comfortable with the other. And it doesn't always work for everyone, and it doesn't solve all the problems as many people think that it does. So,
Exactly.
anyway, we're going to start showing some of the models. And,
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start with...
We're probably going to say it wrong.
I'm going to probably say it wrong.
Aries. It's Aries.
Oh, we got it
Aries.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aries. Got it. Thank you.
Aries.
Being comfortable. I feel most sexy when I'm comfortable. You know, comfort defined for me is when I feel like I'm who I like to portray to the world. And that's when I'm comfortable. Like when I feel like I'm being the most me that I can be. You know, whether that be in, you know, a t-shirt and jeans or, you know, sexy lingerie. If I feel like I'm being me, I feel comfortable, and then I feel sexy. I would love to be like a transgender ambassador to like the rest of the world, you know, just, you know, to put a face on it. Like, look, this is us, and this is who we are, and we're not going anywhere. We haven't for like a billion years, you know, been here since everyone else has been here. So it's time to get over it, because I'm over it. My mother, my sisters, my dad, my brother never made me feel like I was weird. Ever. Don't be ashamed of who you are. It's going to make you sexy.
Beautiful.
That was
beautiful
awesome.
model. How has the reception been towards your product from the trans community?
Oh, it's been met with overwhelming support, gratitude, and just excitement. A lot of the women who've written me, not just women, like parents of transgender children, boyfriends of transgender women, husbands, everyone in the trans community. And I tell people you don't have to be trans to be part of the community. They've literally felt like their prayers have been answered. So they're nothing but support and love from the community.
And that's basically, like as you said, you don't even have to be born transgender to feel that. I mean, our families, our friends, our allies become part of who we are.
Exactly.
And so that's definitely...
Absolutely. What are the obstacles you have faced with bringing Chrysalis lingerie? I said it wrong again, didn't I? Chrysalis lingerie to the mainstream.
At first, it was kind of dealing with manufacturers. We were kind of hesitant to kind of reveal exactly who the market was in fear of maybe finding some kind of bias or prejudice towards us. Which we did meet. However, we were able to find a manufacturer that was willing, more than willing, happy to manufacture our lingerie for us. In regards to kind of, because we recently just had an influx of press interest from the press, and it's kind of weird, kind of reading the comments from people, and it was a good mix of good and bad. You know, the usual hatred and things like that. For the most part, a lot of people, I think we're living at a time where a lot more people are progressive in their thinking and seeing humanity more as a whole as opposed to, you know, what separates us. So, but for the most part, there really wasn't that much of a problem bringing it to mainstream.
And everything in life has two sides. You're going to get the individuals that are going to be very supportive, very open-minded, and then you're going to have the small percentage of closed-minded, bigoted individuals that no matter what you present in front of them, they're going to be judgmental. So we can't worry about those individuals and just try to educate those that are willing to be educated and those that are willing to realize that not everyone fits into a little box. And that's all we can do. And be ourselves. I think the more visible we as a transgender community become, the more the outside of our community is going to be more understanding.
Exactly.
So we're going to present our next model, or your next model, Maya. That was easy to pronounce. Maya.
You get all the easy ones.
Hey, I do the scripting, so.
No fair.
You know, I definitely went through You know, I definitely went through periods of time where I was really angsty about my body and this and that, and it's easy for me to say, oh yeah, I'm comfortable with myself, I'm a woman, blah, blah, blah. And I have had plastic surgery to make, you know, myself into more of the woman that I am. But now that I look at myself in retrospect, I think that I was always that woman, no matter what body I was in. I'm a strong woman and a strong individual, and I know what I want in life. Those are the things that make me feel sexy.
Getting back to the reception you have received from the trans community, I noticed that there's always this, I don't know, kind of war between politically correct things that are said or not, even within our own community. Have you had any negative feedback from transgender women saying, well, we don't need our own brand, we could wear what other women wear? Have you had that?
Yeah, I've had it all come at me. I got a lot of it from, let's say, trans feminists who believe that, you know, Chris's lingerie is kind of just promoting misogynistic views of women and things like that. But to them, I say, you know, you may not be the trans woman that would wear our lingerie or appeal to our kind of branding. However, there are trans women out there who do. And in essence, you know, to each his own. If you don't like it, then don't wear it. You know, we're not here forcing you to wear our stuff, nor do we say that we're here to represent or paint a picture of what all trans people are supposed to look or act like. You know, we're here just to add a variety of what, of how trans people or trans women are represented. And that's all we're here for, is just to add a little bit of variety.
And I noticed that individuals that it's almost like they're ashamed of who they are and they just want to become women completely. And what I say, and this is my views, and I mean no way to offend anyone, we were born in the opposite gender that we represent now, the way we feel. And I believe we can never erase that completely. And if someone comes along with a brand tailored especially for them, how could they be judgmental about something like that? I don't get it. It's like, you have to realize, I as a transgender man could never wear the big size shoes that are made for men. So I have to go buy shoes in the boys department. There's not a lot of selection.
We gotta go to Payless Kids.
Yeah,
to
kids
get
department.
shoes.
Sometimes I feel like a juvenile. They don't have a lot of stuff. So I would be highly honored if there was a transgender brand of shoes for trans men that would fit and look like I'm a man, not like I'm a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. I think there's just a lot of healing that needs to be done within our own community. I think there's a lot of self-loathing, self-hatred out there, but there's also, and from what you see from the media, that's, you know, it's not really surprising, because, you know, what you see of trans people are, you know, are either they're prostitutes, they're uneducated, they're just going through the worst of worst in life. So it's hard to kind of want to be associated with that, or to even feel a sense of pride. And I think through Chrysalis, that's what we're really trying to change, where, you know, even when I was going through my own transition, I went to that point where I was like, you know, I'm not trans, I'm not a transsexual, I'm a woman. But in the back of my own head, there's a sense of kind of denial in that sense. But I feel like when you're true to yourself and you just, whatever you're feeling, if you just let it out and kind of establish what it is, where it's coming from, and things like that, I think you come to a point where you really do accept who you are, love yourself to the utmost, and you really you start to really heal. And I think as a community, that's where we are, where there's a lot of healing that needs to be done.
I couldn't agree more. I feel exactly the same way. It's like in the beginning, I mean, I'm only a little over 2 years into my transition physically. But basically the whole thing was that I felt the exact same way. You know, once I learned to accept the fact, hey, okay, no matter how many surgeries I have, no matter how many hormones I take, I'm never going to be 100% a woman. So I'm transgender and I'm proud. And that's the way a lot of us need to think.
Exactly.
I think that's the only way that we're really going to appeal to the public instead of trying to be something we are not. And it's almost like an evolution that we go through. And we all start off because as we go through this puberty and we're like, yeah, I'm a man. You know, when somebody uses the wrong pronoun when we first start our transition, we get all bent out of shape and angry at the world. And it's once you grow up, and I guess that's the best way to put it, you literally grow up and you learn to accept the fact I'm a transgender man. I'll never be, and I get people saying, what do you mean, you're a man? No, I am a proud transgender man. And if I had to do it all over again, if my life had to be, I would do it again and again and again because I love who I am. I am very proud of who I am.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the messages that we're trying to bring out there to help individuals realize, be proud of who you are. Love yourselves unconditionally. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And I'm just a girl with something extra.
And I'm a boy that's missing something. But that's okay. So who all is involved in this brand, and were there any trans individuals that took part of the creation besides yourself and your partner?
Well, we have our models who are all trans women. A lot of in New York, it's weird because it's a big city, but the trans community itself is really quite small, and it's hard not to know someone who's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. But directly speaking, it was generally just me, my partner, and our close knit of friends, family, and colleagues. But for the most part, we really feel like this was a whole collective, a real community effort.
Okay, interesting.
Awesome. Well, let's show another model. So here's Jasmine. That was an easy one.
Yeah, Jasmine.
Being able to wake up every day and look in the mirror and see myself as, the woman that I've always, wanted to be and felt myself to be. So that's what really makes me happy at the end of the day. To know that I'm living my life for me. I mean, like everyone, it was difficult at first. I didn't even want to go outside or be seen by anybody, but then I started, just gaining the courage, which I've always had within me. So I never really care what people on the street think or say or whatever. So, sometimes it's the best thing in the world, and then sometimes it's the worst thing in the world. But, I try to always keep a positive attitude about my transition and who I am and stay true and strong to that. So just to be an example to others, to keep on keeping on. Even if you're going through it alone, you're never really alone.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how beautiful. To me, transgender women go beyond beauty. There's just this beautiful chemistry that you all have. And I've been with genetic women all my life, and I can tell you that I wouldn't trade my beautiful Jessica for any genetic woman ever. Plus, she has something a little extra that I've become very fond of.
I could say the same thing. No genetic man will ever take your place. Let me ask a question about your line. What is the difference between the basic and the couture collection?
The basics collection is basically it's made for regular everyday wear, so it's really streamlined, very simple. The couture line is more of really elaborate things that you can kind of wear on special occasions. There's a fad out there, or a trend where you almost wear your lingerie outside, where you can wear corsets with jeans, things like that. Or there's even dresses out there that look like teddies or lingerie. So the couture line is really more of a show, for a special occasion, really elaborate, really beautifully well made. There's bells and whistles galore, ruffles, everything you can think of.
I love it. Definitely. When can I start shopping online?
Well, we're going to launch our online store on May 1st with our basics collection. And we're hoping to open or launch our couture collection in the fall of this year.
Awesome. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I am
so,
going to be one of the first ones checking you out.
Yes.
We notice you call your model Lady Butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a special meaning behind this?
It's kind of a play on Victoria's Secret's angels, you know? We figured with Chrysalis, our logo is the butterfly. We get all our inspiration from the butterfly, actually. The colors, the way they move, the way they transform and evolve, and their individualism. So our couture collection will always be inspired by butterflies. So in essence, you know, our models are our butterflies from when they transition, you know, and being the woman that they become or the women that they become. So in essence, they're, you know, they represent our brand and the butterfly.
But it's not, there's not a more beautiful type of scenario, because a butterfly starts off as a caterpillar, and then it does this little thing and sticks itself and waits, and then all of a sudden emerges this beautiful, beautiful insect. I guess they're called an insect, or are they some form of... No. Well, a butterfly is kind of a... No?
Well, it's probably called an insect,
but it's just a very beautiful insect.
I have, since I transitioned, my first 2 feminine tattoos were both butterflies. Yes. My trans logo on my ego.
Sorry, also part of the whole Chrysalis brand is, you know, the Chrysalis component is also represents that stage where the caterpillar is turning into the butterfly, and the chrysalis itself is kind of a home where it's encased with love and safety, and that's what we also want to promote, where if you are going to transition, you have to, it's necessary for you to surround yourself with a loving home and surrounding and people in order for you to transform into that butterfly.
That's awesome, because I was just gonna, you just answered the question I was gonna ask you, if that's where Chrysalis came from, because as soon as you started talking about the butterfly, then I realized, wait, Chrysalis. Okay, now I put 2 and 2 together, and it was like, okay, cool. I was just gonna ask you that. You read my mind.
So we have some behind the scene with your lady butterflies that we're going to share with the viewers.
No, actually I'm wearing the Chrysalis bra. I love it. There you go, girl. You using inserts? Yeah, there's inserts inside. They feel so real. Feel so real. All right. I have to get up and touch you. How about like yeah, exactly. I was when I was coming here, I like banged into the side, and I was like, ow, you know, like pretending like it hurt, because you can't feel anything, but they feel really real. Show us. That's crazy. And it's so comfortable. How's it look? Oh, it's sexy. It's gorgeous. It's look gorgeous. Bring them out. Bring them out. Those are so cute. Oh my god, those are cleavage. Chrysalis. Can I see the logo? Yeah. And it like looks good. Gives me like a little bit of cleavage. It gives you a little cleavage. It looks super natural. Yeah. It's like so comfortable. That's amazing.
And that's with the inserts in, right?
Yeah, these are with the inserts. That's the best insert bra I've ever seen. Usually they're so ugly. You can wear it without the insert too, especially like if you do show.
So you're a natural A, right?
I'm a natural A, and this is a 34B, I think. So like with the insert, but even without, I can get away with it. Okay. That's awesome. After. Yeah. And I use it without the insert, and that means like if you're, you know, pre-op, post-op, breast, like you can keep the same bra. That's great. You save a lot of money.
Right. And if you actually really want to get, you know, your breasts done, you can kind of test out how big you want to go and things like that, and not really make it permanent, you know, before you go under the knife.
That's cool.
You can kind of decide.
It feels so good. It gives you so many options.
Right. That's cool.
I love it.
And I know it comes in 5 different colors. It's black. We have our
plum.
Right. Our plum. Is that plum?
No. It's like berry. That's so berry.
I think this is a plum.
That's plum.
This is our nude.
I love
and this is our brown.
I would call it ivory.
Ivory or nude. So basically, you just put in the insert into the hidden pockets.
Chocolate.
Chocolate hidden pockets. Just a little.
This is just the logo. That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love the logo.
So that's what you get.
Right?
Gorgeous.
So
Major. It's
Right.
the prettiest insert bra I've ever seen in my life. Touch, touch, touch.
Right.
Squeeze,
And
squeeze, squeeze.
I know that because when I researched it, I know that there is a prosthetic bras for like women who've had breast cancer, but like you said, they're really ugly. Like they look like grandma. They're like,
Yeah.
what did you call them?
Mood killers? Don't have a boyfriend with those. It's over.
So, I mean, we cater directly to transgender women, but you know, women can wear these, especially women who
They'll really
had
appreciate that.
mastectomies and they'll
flappy. It's so soft.
And, you know, let's say they have one boob and don't have a boob.
Exactly,
Works
that's
out,
true.
you'll look fine.
That's so true. I think
You'll feel confident.
I love the logo.
And you won't scare your husband.
Butterfly.
the concept behind the logo is that, you know, when you're transitioning, you really need to surround yourself with love and safety. So it's the butterfly surrounded by like this heart, which is like the cocoon, the chrysalis.
Yes. Beautiful.
So in order for all us caterpillars to turn into butterflies,
Exactly.
we have to surround ourselves with love.
And it looks so regal too. It just makes me feel like a princess. You can
That's
just wear
like
it.
vines. It's very natural. The organic symbol.
That's cool. Well, you can put your boob away.
Thank
We
you.
know how you like to show it.
I know. Well, it was better with that.
Right?
Insert.
T-string.
And you're wearing the T-string?
It's so comfortable.
I love the
I love the
You want to
T-string.
see it?
Of
I
course.
would love to see it.
I want to see it with your shorts on, because that's what my issue was, like that whole like puffiness, and I wanted to make sure that
You know,
there's a panty on it.
also look how cute and low cut and skimpy her outfit is, and she is not fidgeting or removing anything
Exactly,
or
yes.
touching herself at all. She just got up and she's taking off her clothes. She's a
Look. It's like keeping
Gives you
it so
confidence. Yeah, it makes your
pro.
waist
It's so
tiny too.
pretty.
I love
It's so
it.
gorgeous. Take it off, bro. Let's see it.
You can't see anything.
That was
That's
amazing.
wonderful.
Yeah, and ass. Ass. Population picture.
crazy.
That looks
That looks so
fantastic.
good.
Who would ever know?
Yes, honey. Give us
And
Karen
a-
from Sex and the City.
And a boudoir.
Work.
Pre-fashion show.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
That's amazing. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Like, super sick.
That is awesome. So the T-string is actually it also goes up higher so that it contours the waistline. Am I correct?
Yes, we made it so that it really gives you that hourglass figure and cinches the waist and gives
That
you a
is-
higher leg or higher thigh.
That is awesome. I loved it. And then what she was saying about the bras looking nice, because they did. They look very, you know, for younger women. The other ones that for the interns look like they belong on 60-year-old breasts, you know, not,
Yes.
not someone that's in their 30s or 20s,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
Too much
Or
female
just-
talk here. I need some testosterone talk. Hey, work out or something.
What did you expect?
I'm just joking. I'm very in touch with my female side, but I don't wear none of that stuff. You know,
Thank God.
right?
It's all about balance, huh?
Like I said earlier, if my man's running around in my panties, we got
Yeah,
problems.
it's not- no panties, thank you. I prefer underwear. Boxers.
Yeah, boxers. There you go. So what's next for Chrysalis and Cy Lauz?
For Chrysalis, we're really just anticipating our launch in May, and we're going to see how, you know, that pans out. We're getting a lot of interest, so we're really not worried. But you know, in essence, we're still a little antsy. And for me, really just, I don't know. I'm at a point in my life where I'm very comfortable with who I am as a transgender woman. So really, you know, when I was going through my transition, and I think a lot of trans women go through this, is where they think that once they transition, life is done, you know, where there's nothing else left to learn, you know. I look like a woman, I'm a woman, that's it. But in essence, I've realized that transitioning really just continues on until you literally die. You know, and I don't think that's unique to just trans people, but I think that's to everyone, all human beings, where, you know, you're constantly changing, you're constantly evolving. Just as long as you're true to yourself, you know, you'll always be better than you were yesterday.
People don't realize, that's what you said, everything in life doesn't revolve around gender. They're just very tunnel vision, and they're just worried about transitioning and aligning their minds with their bodies. But there's more to life than that. And sometimes once they get there and they think, poof, their depression is going to go away, their anxieties are going to go away, they've really quickly learned that stuff is still there. You have to evolve as an individual, not just as a gender. Gender is just a very small part of who we are.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your hopes for the future with the transgender individuals? What would you like to see in our community?
I actually want the trans community to be as mainstream as possible. I think what promotes that sense of fear or insecurities from the outside community is that there's this mystery behind us where we're either looked at as these sexual deviants or crazy people or things like that. And I think the more trans people are out there in the media and just, you know, out in public, I think the better it is for not only trans community itself, but for humanity in general. Because in essence, yes, there's things that separate us and make us different and unique. However, the one thing that keeps us all united and together is our humanity. And being human beings is something that you can't, you know, it's something so legit, so something so strong. You know, it has nothing to do with whether you're rich, you're poor, you're gay, you're straight, which can all be kind of trivialized. But your humanity is something so rigid and so real that you can't, no matter how you approach it, no matter how much you shake it, it's always going to be there. And our humanity is what keeps us, you know, tied in together through one another. So for the trans community for the future, I would really like more and more trans people to just really just be out there, you know, come out, you know, even if you're so stealth and things like that, or even if you're scared, you know, being out there is really the future.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I agree.
And what about to the families of transgender individuals, to the religious groups? What would you say to them if you had the chance to?
Well, coming from, I think when it comes to families, like, I'm really amazed by that. The documentary that was on the Oprah Network with I Am Jazz, I was really just amazed by that family. The amount of support that not only the parents, but her brothers and sisters gave to her, and how willing they are to stand up for their daughter, and, you know, their willingness to just go above and beyond to protect her and make her feel secure and as a human being, not only as a trans girl. And I think when it comes to families, really, your only best bet really is to just listen, provide your utmost support, you know, and just let your trans daughter or son, you know, figure things out themselves, and just let them know that no matter what happens, you'll always be there. And in regards to the religious thing, you know, I was raised Catholic. I don't practice it. However, there's something about religion that kind of, this is my own opinion, and it's not to knock religion or anything, because if you find empowerment or self-empowerment through religion, then by all means, it's, you know, more power to you and go for it. But for me, I think religion for me is kind of looking outside of yourself for that help, looking outside of yourself to this being that's supposed to help you. And I feel that everything you need is within yourself. You know, you can talk to God or whoever this higher being is through you. You don't need a priest, you don't need the Bible or anything like that. So really my qualm with religion is that it kind of promotes looking outside of yourself for that help.
Definitely, and I totally agree with you, because I believe we're gods in the making ourselves. And we don't need anything outside of us. Everything is within us. The answer is within. And even Jesus said, "Why do you marvel at what I do? You too will do greater things than I. The kingdom of heaven lies within you." But most people don't understand that, and they need to empower someone outside of them, point fingers and judge us to make themselves feel better. And God doesn't make mistakes. And I don't even like to use the word God. I like to use the word spirit, or the universe doesn't make mistakes. We are who we're meant to be. We're two-spirited, and I think we're very angelic and have a lot to offer this world.
Absolutely.
You were going to say something earlier.
I forgot now that you jumped in front of me there, you jerk.
You were talking about jazz, and I know the family
that's what it was.
Personally. I did an interview with Maury Povich, and Jeanette reached out to me because she was scared for jazz. She didn't know if she was doing the right thing or not, and she said that I really helped empower them, and we became very good friends. And the actual New Times wrote an article about me, and I told them about jazz, and they came out on that New Times article, and from then it just went viral. And that's how they came to really get themselves out there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's a lot more kids and parents that are seeing the gender issues early on, and the identity that children are identifying with who they want to be or who they feel they are. And I think parents are quicker to pick up on that nowadays because of past education. And so it's making it easier for the next generation. So everything we do today or everything they did yesterday helped us today, and everything we do today helps those for tomorrow. Exactly. And I think that's the greatest aspect of everything and the greatest feeling. So things can only get better as time progresses.
I believe so. I totally believe so. It's parents are becoming more aware, and they're not suppressing or breaking the spirit of their children like our spirits were broken, and I'm sure yours was as well, Cy. They try to make us think there was something terribly wrong with us, and they try to make us be or act a certain way that we didn't feel normal for us. So I applaud those parents that are open and accepting and are fighting for their children.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Totally. Was there anything else you wanted to add, tell the viewers about? Stage is yours.
No, I guess I'd like to say thank you to all our fans and our support group, and everyone who's been involved with Chrysalis from the very beginning. Our Facebook page fans, they're really great. And really just a lot of thank yous and gratefulness and gratitude, and thank you for sharing the love, because we have lots of love to give as well.
And if the viewers want to know where your website is, Joe, can you put back the lower thirds for Chrysalis. We'll never, it's like, Chrysalis lingerie.com, and please visit their website and show their support.
Absolutely.
Well, we want to thank you, and we have a special announcement that we want to make. We wanted to bring attention to the national shortage of life-saving sodium and potassium phosphate. The shortage has caused death to people who need it because they cannot absorb certain minerals, or they cannot eat solid foods, or they have been starved and need an infusion of electrolytes to survive. The nationwide shortage has been caused by the pharmaceutical companies not making more in time to save lives once they had to recall due to some contamination. They are on extreme back order, so when they do release the phosphate, it will not be enough to go around. Mark George, a fellow FTM who you're seeing on the screen, reports that the VA in Seattle told him that they are the last to get it when it comes out for release, maybe in April, but by then he might have died.
He quotes, "My body needs sodium phosphate 60 MEQ IV anywhere from twice to 5 times a month. It is a long process. It takes 5 hours minimum to infuse because it can ruin the heart if it is given faster. The drug companies are not making it fast enough, and as far as I can tell, maybe only one company is really making it seriously, and another has no idea when they may get some out. 6 seniors and children depend on phosphate to stay alive, as well as this veteran. It has been a problem since 2011, and now it is past a problem, and no one is talking about it except now when supply has run out. Hospitals need to disclose if they have any to share, and if they are putting pressure on the drug companies to get it out. I have links to discussing it on the FDA site.
It is both sodium phosphate and potassium phosphate that I've run out of. I cannot take the powder form or the pill form because his gut cannot absorb it. Malabsorption syndrome is what he has. It has to go through his bloodstream, and he's just a regular T guy with a family that depends on him to survive and to stay alive. So we definitely want to thank our guest, Cy, for
thank you, Cy,
giving us her time and for creating such a wonderful line of lingerie and
an awesome product line,
accessories.
We're going shopping when the website comes out.
Okay, no, thank you, Cy. Now I have to spend more money.
Whatever. Go away from me.
Not bad enough that I have to pay for the berries to get removed. I got to pay for other things too. Whatever. Anyway, anything for you, sweetheart. You know I want to pull your legs.
Yeah, nice recovery.
I've learned this very quickly. You know,
yes,
transgender women are
just don't be pulling my third leg.
League of their own. See, now you made it not PG. I didn't even go there, but you had to go there.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, it's been
whatever.
Kind of nerve-wracking. We're here facing our normal camera, which we're used to, but we have the man behind the scene, and if you don't mind there, Rob, there he is back there with that big camera that's been following us.
National Geographic.
Yeah, they've been following us since Friday, and that's just one camera. You should see the entire equipment, and it's OCD as I am.
And the crew.
If I would have had any hair on my head, it would have been gone by now because everything is moved all over the place. Footprints all over. I mean, I'm like, I haven't had a nervous breakdown because I don't even know, but yeah. But I'm still here and surviving and a little sunburn because of the day of the beach yesterday.
Yeah, and you put suntan lotion on
your head. Yes, you did put sunblocker, not suntan lotion. Sunblock,
okay,
but it didn't really work. Anyway, enough rambling. We want to thank you. We want to thank National Geographic for doing this piece on us, and it should air in July. So we will keep you guys, up to date on posted, whatever those words are. I'm Cuban, and sometimes the words just kind of like the Cuban thing tries to go in the back of my mind, and then just the English words.
The Spanglish language.
Yeah, the Spanglish language, or sometimes it's just, who knows. Anyway, enough rambling.
And we're off.
But we want to thank you for watching and tuning in on yet another Sunday and spending this hour with us. We want to say we love you, but remember to always love yourselves too.
Good night.
Good night, folks. And thank you, Joe, for all your hard work.
Yes, Joe.
We love you too, baby.